Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I need to do a little housekeeping first. So if you don't want to watch this segment of the video, just go ahead and press to the next chapter, and then that'll get us started with the several things that I want to cover today. But first thing that I want to cover is fear mongering. All right, ladies and gentlemen. The second thing that I want to cover is switch with AP, and the third thing that I want to cover is water. All right, and water filtration very quickly. First, fear mongering. I know that everyone has their opinion on what fear mongering is. I have my own, but I remember reading a comment here not too long ago, a couple days ago or so, someone saying, I'm a prepper, but this is fear mongering. If you honestly feel that I am fear mongering on any video, whatever video it may be, please, ladies and gentlemen, send me an email. My email address is down below, and on the subject line, put fear mongering in all caps. That way I can read what you think in your email instead of being limited to reading just a couple of lines on a comment. Please indicate what I'm fear mongering about and why it's fear mongering in your opinion, and I will honestly address it. All right, because I just went and looked back at like my last 10 videos and I'm like, this is not fear mongering. This is actually stuff that's going on. I remember putting out a video about, I don't know, a little over a week ago, 10 days ago or something like that, early October, where I said that we are at war. And ladies and gentlemen, what happened just a few days after that over there in Israel? And what have we done since then? We just sent a complete carrier group all the way to Israel. Do you really think we're not at war? But not only is that a war that we're in, we are in a war right here in our own country against those that want to strip us from our liberties. So I don't believe that's fear-mongering. I believe that's reality. So if I believe it, I'm going to put it out there, ladies and gentlemen. The second thing that I want to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, is switch with AP. The demand is overwhelming, and it has overwhelmed the people in the background that are working switch with AP. Therefore, I've been asked to put out a message to those of you that maybe have a few hours a week of extra time and would like to maybe participate in a side hustle where you can maybe earn a little bit of extra income. There is a link down below that would register you to a Zoom meeting this Sunday. All right, at 12 noon Alaska time, 4 p.m. Eastern time. And what it's going to do is it's going to go over with you the opportunity that exists for you to help other people integrate into switching with AP, ladies and gentlemen. And when I say switch with AP, I mean switch to American-made, American-owned, non-ESG company that belongs to a family that loves this country. And no, it's not the Waltons. So if you're interested in helping out, click on the long link that's on a pinned comment and in the description of the video. And if you don't have the time and you just want to switch, go ahead and click on Switch with AP. Every family in the United States of America ought to have a reverse osmosis water filtration system in their house for the water that they use to drink and to cook with. In addition to every family in the United States of America, now you know how much I love my solar generators, right? Every family in the United States of America ought to have a backup generator, gasoline generator first. I believe that before you get a solar generator, you ought to have a gas generator first, be it gas or LP or natural gas, whatever it is, because you have more control over having gasoline put away than over whether the sun is going to be out or not to power your solar generator. So that's why I say go with a gasoline generator first, and then a solar generator is a great complement to a gasoline generator. The only time that I would not recommend a gasoline generator for someone first is if you live like in an apartment where you just don't have the space to get a gasoline generator running and then bring a cord up to your apartment, or they just don't let you have it. Then of course, go ahead and get a solar generator first. And by the way, check out Opus. They're not having the big sale that they were having before on the Mega 3, the Mega 5, and all of their other brands, but there is still 5% off their price, and their prices are still down. The Mega 3 still has a very low price. I think it's like $2,100 or $2,200. So even with the 5% discount, it's still about $2,000, which is a really good price for that machine. But that's not what this is about. It's not about the Opus. It's about water filtration. Ladies and gentlemen, check out my link, SimPure, right? I've been affiliated with this company for a long time. I've tested out some of their stuff, and they have good quality product, all right? Now, here I am talking about switch with AP to all American, and here SimPure is made in China. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am switching everything that I can, all right, that's made in the US. But there are some things that you will not be able to find that is made in the U.S. And some of those things may be water purification, or at least those things that you can afford. I know that I have done some research on some water purification systems that are just as good as SimPure, but for 10 times the price. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's up to you to do what you want to do, all right? But I would look into SimPure. They have something that will fit any family, but most importantly, get a water purification system for your home, whether you get it from SimPure or not. If you do want to get it from SimPure, you can use my link, of course, all right, because I am affiliated with them, which means that I will make a commission if you purchase something from them using my link, ladies and gentlemen. But I also have a code in the description, and I'll leave it in the link of this video as well, for you to get 20% off whatever you want to get on the store. All right. Having said that, let's go ahead and start our video. Yesterday's video, ladies and gentlemen, was a little bit difficult for me to make because I've been experiencing like you know how when you experience a pit in your stomach? And I'm still experiencing that now. I still have that feeling. It's like an anxious feeling and a pit in your stomach that something bad is going to happen. And I still have that feeling today. And I guess only time will tell whether that feeling is valid or not. But yesterday I told you, arm yourselves. Make sure that you use your Second Amendment right, ladies and gentlemen, because in the history of this nation, I believe right now is a time in which you need it the most. Make sure that you can protect yourselves and your families. Please don't allow what happened to some of the unfortunate souls in Israel to happen to us in case something like that happens here. Those of you that have been following things like with the border and such know that we've had a lot of people come in through the borders, all right, that we haven't vetted, that are criminal elements, not only like drug criminals, but like criminal elements that are being sent here from other countries. There is absolutely no doubt in my mind that in these United States of America, there are right now sleeper cells ready to be activated by their governing country to do bad things on U.S. soil. There is absolutely no doubt in my mind. So please arm yourselves. Learn how to use your firearm when you get one. Go practice. Make sure you train. Have what's called muscle memory so that you don't have to think about doing it when you actually need to do it, if you ever do. Hopefully you never will. But here's another great example, ladies and gentlemen. Blue City chaos. Portland officials tell residents not to call 911 because the system is overloaded. Another video that I put out not too long ago was about the Cloward and Piven strategy. A strategy by which a nation turns communist and Marxist because the systems by which the governed, i.e. the people, are used to relying on are so overloaded that those systems are no longer there for the people. In this case, in this part of our history, they are no longer there for we the people. They are there for those that the politicians want to buy their votes. In my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, even though they shouldn't be allowed to vote if they are not citizens of these United States. But that's another video for another time and probably for another platform. So arm yourselves, because even the police are telling people, we cannot protect you. So ladies and gentlemen, what more does it take for you to know that they are not going to be there for you when you truly need them the most? So far in the last 10 or so years, maybe a little more, we as a collective have spent about $7 trillion on this green energy. And that $7 trillion has resulted not in lowering the consumption of oil worldwide, but the consumption of oil as of 10 years ago is now higher. So where has all that money gone? And how is this green energy going to get us to 2030 when here OPEC says that the oil industry is going to need $14 trillion in investments by 2045 in order for us to still have the energy we need? In my opinion, by this, they're just saying, hey, this green energy stuff is not working and we need to shift over to fossil fuels because we've done so much damage to all of the things that we have in our infrastructure now that by 2045, if we don't have this investment, we're not going to have the energy that we need in order to power the world. What do I mean by we've done so much damage to the things that we have in our infrastructure now? Well, ladies and gentlemen, there's countries like Germany and other countries in Europe where they're shutting down their nuclear reactors. They're shutting down their coal power plants in order to live the dream of solar and wind. And now that they realize that solar and wind is not the answer, they're now starting up those plants that they mothballed. And they're also realizing that maybe shutting down those nuclear plants that they had maybe wasn't such a great idea. Well, now since we've invested so little in fossil fuels for the future, for like looking for new fossil fuels, looking for new places to drill, etc., now it's going to cost all this money so that we can make sure we can still depend on fossil fuels by the year 2045. So this ought to make you think, is this green energy stuff really what it's said to be by the powers that be? Or is it just a way to drain you of your wealth? Because they've already taken $7 trillion from you as a collective, I mean, not just from you, obviously, but now they want another 14. Ladies and gentlemen, I just now noticed that I have not been recording myself. So you got a break from having to look at this ugly mug for the last few minutes. One thing that I did forget to mention during the beginning of this video is that the people that won something during last Friday's giveaway, about half of you have not replied to me. I just got a new person who replied to me this morning, so that's great. But take a look at this list here. Those of you that are still in yellow have not replied to me. So anyways, send me your information. Try to get it out here by Friday so that I can mail everything in one shot. Now let's talk about how the IMF is warning that inflation to remain elevated through 2025. How many times have I told you all that inflation has nowhere to go but up? Inflation is not going anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. And if you think that they're going to meet their goal of 2% by 2025, like this article is saying, I think not. It's just a way of keeping that carrot in front of your face, telling you, hey, I know that inflation is going to tick back up again, but it's going to be going back down, okay? So just hang in there. Hang in there. We got you. We love you. We're the IMF and the central banks. If that's what you think, ladies and gentlemen, then God bless you. The International Monetary Fund doesn't expect consumer price increases to return to the desired level of around 2% before 2025 in most advanced economies. What does that mean? What does 2% inflation mean, ladies and gentlemen? It means plainly and simply that their goal is to only steal 2% of your purchasing power going forward. Right? Because inflation is when the monetary supply increases, therefore taking away the purchasing power of the rest of the dollars that are in the system or whatever currency in your country. That's what inflation is. So when they say that we're only going to have 2% inflation, that's our goal. What they're saying is that they're going to be okay with only stealing 2% of your purchasing power. Meaning what? Meaning that they're going to be stealing your labor. Why? Because the more inflation there is, then the more labor that it takes you in order to buy the same stuff that you bought last year. According to its latest World Economic Outlook, the IMF predicts global inflation to reach about 7% this year, down from 8.7% in 2022. For 2024, the organization expects inflation to decline further to about 5.8%, which is about 0.6% higher than the July prediction of 2023. As core inflation remains stubbornly elevated, ladies and gentlemen. This is stubborn, this inflation. They can fix this like this, but nor do they have the political will to do so, and the people don't want it. Right, ladies and gentlemen? The easiest way to keep a people enslaved is a people that think that they're free. That's the easiest way to keep people enslaved. And the people do not want to go through the pain to have a just economic system. They rather keep getting stolen from so that they can keep living their little lives where they can get Cheetos from Walmart on a daily basis or whatever it is. Some people like Doritos instead of Cheetos. Near-term inflation expectations have risen and could contribute, along with tight labor markets, to core inflation pressures persisting and requiring higher policy rates than expected. Meaning what? Expect rates to continue to go up, the dollar to get stronger, and the price of things to go higher, ladies and gentlemen. Think about this. The dollar is getting stronger, but is it really getting stronger as far as your purchasing power? No, it's not. It's getting stronger against these other currencies that are overinflating their markets more so than we here in the US are. But ask yourself, has your purchasing power gotten any better in the last few months that the dollar's been getting stronger? No. What matters is what can you buy with your dollars? And do you think that your dollars are going to get you more next year than they get you now? If you do, then go ahead, save dollars under your mattress. Me personally, I'm not a financial advisor. I have to say this because I'm on the internet. Me personally, I'd rather buy gold and silver. That's how I'd rather protect my wealth. Having said that, I hope that you have a great day. Thank you very much for joining in today. And again, let me say it again. Anytime that you think that I'm fear-mongering, please send me an email. Email address link down below. and tell me, and on the subject, put fear mongering and tell me what video, what part of the video, and why it's fear mongering. All right, I'll be very interested to see if any of you have anything to send me as far as that. All right, because it's very easy to just put it on the comment. You're a fearmonger. Okay, but tell me why. I would love to know. Other than that, have a great day, ladies and gentlemen. God bless every one of you. God bless America. I'm Alaska Prepper. I'm out. Hello, YouTubers. Alaska Prepper here. 1, 2, 3. This is a test. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the first thing that I do before I even start recording a video. Is I make sure that everything is working right and that I've already taken care of hair and makeup. Just kidding. Just showing you a little bit of the background. That's actually the very first thing that I do before I even record a video. Now I'm going to go ahead and press stop on record and check this to make sure that the sound sounds halfway decent. And there's not too much that I can do about how I look, but that at least it's not blurry and all messed up.
Right? We are all only as healthy as our neighbor is in our street, in our city, in our region, in our nation, and globally. And did we solve that? Like, did we actually manage to vaccinate everyone in the world? No. So highlighting water as a global commons and what it means to work together and see it both out of that kind of global commons perspective, but also the self-interest perspective, because it does have that parallel. It's not only important, but it's also important because we haven't managed to solve those problems which had similar attributes. And water is something that people understand. You know, climate change is a bit abstract. Some people understand it really well. Some understand it a bit. Some just don't understand it. Water, every kid knows how important it is to have water. When you're playing football and you're thirsty, you need water. So there's also something about really getting citizen engagement around this and really, in some ways, experimenting with this notion of the common good. Can we actually deliver this time in ways that we have failed miserably other times? And hopefully we won't keep failing on the other things, but anyway.